Bocce's hit or miss. We don't know what Phil can do out there. I think Levesque grabs Phil McCauley with tremendous value here at the 6th pick.
That's interesting. Of course, Phil could be, we're building him up so much like the media. He could be like a Barack Obama. We think he's going to be the savior, and then he turns into a complete disaster as well.
Yeah.
Well, that leaves Del Sano and Rosen in our mock draft to be teammates, and that's an interesting team. I mean, they've got a chance, don't they?
Well, Del Sano's a real pit bull. He gets in there, he likes to battle it out. Sometimes he gets a little bit too emotional and can't contain it. Rosen, a real level-headed guy, but on the surface, I think underneath, Rosen boils a little bit.
He does boil.
If we temper ranked, he might even get in there quietly.
That guy has some chutzpah.
As a temper assassin. I think this team might be some kind of an interesting blend.
Yeah.
Where everybody just discounts them as two short guys that are throwing washers around. And they just maybe sneak through. Maybe Rosen gets a nice little path.
As long as you can get to the dance. Everybody's going to be in the scheduled games.
Yeah.
They got to get to that dance to hopefully get a shot to get their name on the cup. All right, Bud.
So quick adjustment too. Now that we bring that up, Bud. Now that there's only 14 teams.
Yes.
Instead of the top 6 teams making the playoffs, it will be the top 5, with the number 1 seed getting a bye, and then the other 4 teams will play that first round of the brackets.
Really?
And then move on from there.
That's interesting. Now, Bud, these extra games that these competitors are going to be able to play, with having the lack of the seed, how is that going to affect the tournament? Like, I mean, people are going to be playing a lot of sports during this tournament, and how do you keep yourself mentally focused throughout the whole thing? I mean, how do you stay in the competition without just allowing yourself to lose focus?
Well, that's a question that you need to really ask champions, and I think that was brought up in the war room last year when the bottom 8 were talking to the top 8, and they were finding out what it takes to win a championship, and that's exactly what it is. It's not getting overly distracted. It's not trying to play every game a million times before the tournament starts. Try and get yourself warmed up. It's about staying focused on what you need to get done, taking care of your body, and being mentally and physically prepared to compete. But also having a really good time all the way up into that.
You have to smile. You got to be loose and
easy. Is to keep it loose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep it easy. Have a real good time. There's a hot tub there this year. There's going to be a lot of man boobs hanging out. People are going to be relaxed.
No strippers again. This is a female-free environment, I understand.
Yeah, not that kind of event.
Good. But a couple more questions. We did our mock draft here. Obviously, that's just a mock draft projecting, but we don't know what's going to happen. Let me ask you right now. We have the war room where these competitors can evaluate the draftees. But before that, there's going to be some, free time to just kind of get to know you. Is there going to be a lot of sizing up? Do you think these competitors are going to be, hey, asking these guys questions like, to see if they're on the same wavelength, to see if they can gel together as a team?
Oh, I think this year's going to be 10 times more.
The politicking, I suppose?
Let me say that one again. This is going to be night and day from last year. And what I mean by that is, now that you have the top 7 picking the bottom 7, these are 7 champions. All 7 of these men have won a Menstown Cup.
This is interesting.
So they're going to be very precise in their due diligence when they're studying these players. Last year you had the bottom feeders picking the top feeders, and they didn't know what they're looking for. They just want to win. And they went off of obviously emotional picks with the Reyes and the Ratto out of the gate,
yes,
which were obviously foolish picks. So you're going to see a whole different approach this year. You're going to see a champions approach, and they're going to look at these guys. They're going to go background checks. They're going to check out every part of their game. Mm-hmm. They're going to want to know where they slept the night before Menstown, how things are at home. How's the drinking problem? All of this is part of their due diligence. And mindful, a lot of drinking isn't a problem at Menstown.
No, but you still have to perform.
You still do. You still do. And I think this is going to be a brutal war room. I think these champions aren't going to pull any punches. And they're going to cut through these guys like a razor blade.
Do we have any kind of idea what kind of questions there are going to be asked?
I mean, I think everything's on the table. I think
Really?
it could get really personal in there, in that war room, and I think there's going to be some surprises. I think my mock draft, those top three, I think it's some obvious picks there. There's going to be some surprises, as there always is, because those champions are looking for specific things.
Mm-hmm.
And each champion has different criteria, obviously, and they know what it takes for them to win. In that war room, if you want to be a fly on the wall somewhere,
Oh no,
it's in there.
I heard last year was the equivalent of being in just an intense courtroom.
Yeah.
The back and forth was intense, and the questions were searing and inquisitive. And these competitors left sweating because they were getting hit from all sides. So
It's intense in there, and I wish some year they'll let cameras in. But until they do, we can only just kind of speculate as to what really goes on.
no doubt. Well, folks, we don't know what's going to happen in the war room. We don't know what's going to happen with this tournament. But what we do know,
Yes, babe. Oh, okay.
what we do know,
Sorry.
is everything all right?
I have a correction. I said the top 5 teams make the play. That's incorrect data.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay. A lot of flush.
Of the 7 teams, the 6 teams will make the playoff brackets.
Really?
The two divisions will stand. I think one division will have 3 and one will have 4. The 2 champs will each have byes, and then the other 4 will battle it out and then go to the next round.
Really? So
Face the bye teams.
you obviously don't want to lose a lot of games, but even if you do lose a game or two, you still have a chance to make it to the
Yeah,
dance.
only one team will not make it into the brackets
Really?
at this point. Yes.
Nobody wants to be that team, but I have a good idea on our mock draft who that might be. Listen, again, we don't know what's going to happen in this tournament. We don't know what's going to happen in the war room, but we do know is that Bud and Bud are going to be there to document everything as we can and to give you live and updated information as it comes out. Bud, any last thoughts on Menstown Twainhart, Menstown 2013?
It's 2 weeks away from this moment in time, and I can't tell you how excited we are. We'll be out there early Thursday setting up, gates at 3 o'clock. It's always fun to see, the men stagger in.
Yeah,
Looks like we'll have some Friday arrivals, but last year 16 men showed up on Thursday, so I think there's still a chance that all 14
Here's the hell
show
hoping
up.
if it's a choice between, I know for me and the film crew, we could either leave late Thursday night or we could leave Friday morning. Well, you know what? I'd rather leave late Thursday night.
Yeah.
Get up there,
Get
have a
into town.
coffee, get situated,
Yeah.
and get ready to have a Bloody Mary on, right when I wake up Friday morning. The Friday traffic could still be there, even if it's early in the morning. You don't know. I mean, what you do know is that you could shoot up there on Thursday night with no problem at all.
Yeah, get into town, boys. Get into town.
Get into town.
Town needs you.
Well, for Bud and Bud, Menstown 2013 in Twainhart, 2 weeks away. We look forward to seeing you there. Bud,
Thanks, bud.
great show.